up? What up? What up? What up? What's up, everybody? Hope you are doing well today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. I'm not sure that music was just working, so let me know if you heard the music. I might have done something here while I was setting stuff up, but you know, how's everybody doing today? Thank you so much for joining me. It's June 18th, 2025, and we're live right now on YouTube. We're live right now on Twitter. This is going to go into, of course, the playlist quick market updates here on my YouTube channel, which is Cheds Trading. If you haven't been here yet, you know, definitely think you should check out all the stuff I have for you. I published 4 books, and I have free versions of the first three books already. Trading Wisdom, you probably know that book. I published the Trading Quotes book, and I'm making that entire book free. So I'm going through, you know, reading one chapter at a time. It's a lot of trading psychology, risk management, stuff like that. So if you haven't heard it yet, definitely encourage you folks to check that out. Now, I've got the new book out, which is the Trading Journal. Many of you have already checked it out, and thank you. I'm glad that you are enjoying the book. I love writing books. I've got new stuff coming, you know, poker and trading book, all that good stuff. But, you know, while I have a new book out, like I said, I like to make my old books free. So check out the Trading Quotes book. The reviews are in for the Trading Journal, why you should use a journal, how to fill one out, trading setups, emotional management, good trader habits. It's essentially, you know, Trading Wisdom Part 2. So hopefully you do enjoy checking that out. A couple quick reminders. If you're looking for an exchange, check out BingX, my favorite exchange. Now, why am I so active this week, right? I'm so active this week. It's the Bitcoin Live 7th anniversary sale, okay? I'm a founding analyst at Bitcoin Live. You can see the team here. I've been doing market reports for 7 years with this team. I've been doing, you know, market reports for 7 years with this team, and I do essentially every Wednesday and Sunday night, I do a full market report. I haven't missed that in 6 years. I'm sick, I'm traveling, I'm on vacation. And we do this sale once a year where you can get 3 months membership for $97, which is just crazy to me. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful team, and that's why I'm so active this week. I actually did a stream yesterday on YouTube. I'll do another one tomorrow. I'll try to do one every day this week. I'm doing spaces as well, folks. So if you get a chance, you know, come and say hi, join the party. You know, let me know how you're doing, what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and all that. So join my streams, join my spaces, and check out all that stuff. While I'm here today, I want to talk about the chart, of course, but I'd love to hear from you, you know, like questions you folks have, chart requests, things you think, you know, you want to know about the market. So I see the chat room filling up right now. I see some old names as well. It's great to see you folks. What's up? Andrew Salm, Hodge, Influence, Indy, Dapo, Marcus, Toshi River. It's great to see you folks. I really appreciate you guys coming each time. You know, these streams are fun, and they're even better. They're even more fun, you know, when people show up. And, you know, because I can just talk to myself. It's not as interesting. So what do we think about Bitcoin? I've got a bunch of arrows here. What does that mean? Well, if you note, I put out a tweet yesterday, and I talked about the fact that we had... Here we go. So look, bullish Harami on largest volume since May 21st on the 4-hour. A lot of you were talking about this 1 hour, and they're freaking out. There's a lot of people tweeting about, oh my gosh, whatever, 12, 13 1-hour candles in a row. I mean, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. Like this, you have to understand that this right here doesn't matter in the context of the trend, right? We still have a beautiful, beautiful weekly chart. Prices above EMA 8 primary uptrend support. You know, we're giving full credit to bulls. You just have to. It's an uptrend. It's near range peak. It's a very strong trend. And when you're kind of zooming into the 1 hour and you're freaking out about it, I saw a lot of people doing it. I think they're just bored. And I put out a tweet to that effect, or basically just said, if you're, you know, complaining about the 1 hour candle, you know, you need a new hobby, okay? Because it's really nothing on the 1 hour really matters. Even the 4 hour is stretching it, but we know the weekly trend is quite strong. What I found interesting on the 4 hour is we had this volume spike. If you kind of zoom in, and you zoom in, and we had the largest, you know, 4H volume in quite a while. Let's see. And it showed more last night. I'm not sure why it was showing that. We had a very large cluster of volume here. If you'll note, on these deep drops, these lower Bollinger dips, we get volume clusters. So there's actually a decent amount of evidence that we could be forming some type of a short-term bottom here. And, why does that matter? Well, you should be looking to buy dips and uptrends, right? It's important to position yourself with the trend, right? If you spend all your time, somebody asked me about Filecoin, in my stream yesterday, and should I buy the bottom, and it could be bottoming. Look, if you spend your time trying to guess, when a downtrend is going to reverse, you're just going to get into a lot of trouble. Okay, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. So what you want to do is position yourself to trade with the trend. Okay, you take advantage of a dip in an uptrend. Somebody's asked me the significance of the Harami. It's just a suggestion that the bear force has slowed down. Okay, so what happens is you have a small candle body inside a prior large body. Now, you don't get the true Harami, in traditional markets with the gap up, where the entire body's contained within. But essentially here, we got a small body after a large body down with some accumulation. This right here shows this bear move down has paused and lost some steam. So that's really the significance of the Harami, is retracement to the lower Bollinger Band in an uptrend, daily and weekly, right? Daily MA50, weekly EMA8. And so that's essentially the significance of the Harami. I get a lot of questions building up in the chat room. So why don't I just go to that? And that's what I asked you to do. I want you to ask questions. So I'm going to try to do that. I'll try to get to your questions. I'll probably do a little bit of a shorter stream today because it is Wednesday. So I'm going to do that full market report tonight at Bitcoin Live. So I'll probably do a little bit shorter stream today. What's going on, Influence? So, hello from Malaga. What's going on? Thoughts on hype? I entered at 38 and have a stop loss at 37. Okay, well, it's an uptrend. You're buying dips in an uptrend. Stop loss at 37. So your stop loss would be below this candle. I think that's reasonable. You could very possibly get wicked out for sure. So what I would say is this: if you're long here in what's called a throwback, is a bullish retest, and you set your stop loss, and you do get wicked out, allow yourself to re-enter the trade if the price can recapture like 38. It's one of those things where you want to allow yourself to try a trade idea, at least twice, to give you a little bit of room in case you do get wicked out, in case you do, to take the market, tries to shake you out. So sure, that's reasonable. You're long here in the throwback. That's your stop loss roughly below this candle. If you do get stopped out and then the price recaptures, allow yourself to take a long again and probably use the same stop loss. So I would allow yourself to try a trade at least twice. Probably twice is a good number, because if it happens 3 times and the price starts to chop through this level, the level doesn't matter anymore. Influence says, I'm going to get Bitcoin Live too. You have to. I mean, this is the best team in the world that studies crypto. I love it. And what I love about this is when you sign up, you not only get access to the entire team's work, not just my stuff, the entire team's work. And these are wonderful, wonderful colleagues. But you can go back and watch 7 years of old videos from me. And I try to make every video timeless with education. You can see how I've covered major markets. How did Cheds... Oh, I want to know, how did Cheds cover the 2021 top? How did he cover it up here? How did he cover it here? Go back and see how I've covered major market moments. And even if you just sign up for the 3 months and you don't renew, you have a wonderful opportunity to take advantage of this just amazing video library. So you don't want to miss this sale. The link is in this YouTube video. I'll also, the link is pinned on my Twitter, and I'll reply to the Twitter video. Those of you watching on Twitter, what's up? How you doing, folks? If you head over to YouTube, you can just catch me in the chat room and I'll answer your questions. New background. Yeah, I'm traveling a little bit, but I wanted to stay active this week and talk to you folks. Thoughts on Kaspa chart or ARB? Let's take a look at Kaspa. I think it's on KuCoin. That's what I was thinking. Kaspa. I haven't looked at this. I honestly haven't looked at Kaspa. I don't like it. It's a bad chart. I don't know what your thoughts are, Hodge, but I mean, this is a pretty bad chart. Hopefully you can see that by now. It's a downtrend, lower high structure, price below a falling MA200. So it's just not a good looking chart. I would pretty much avoid it. I don't like it. I wouldn't put any money into this. It's a bad chart. So thoughts on Toast? Sure, let's take a look at it. Isn't this a new one? So it's probably not going to be maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. There's a ton of history. Oh, there is. I was completely wrong. How about that? Yeah. This is Toast Tab. I think that's like a restaurant thing. This is a nice looking chart. Bollingers are getting tight, hinting at some volatility soon. You would think it's likely to continue with the trend. Price above this level, kind of right at this level. This is a nice looking chart. This is a very strong chart. My thoughts are that I like the chart. The chart is bullish. I like bullish charts. I don't really need to know what it is, what it does, their balance sheet. Obviously watch local support 41, 41.50. I don't need to know what they do. I honestly don't care because if the market likes it, I like it. So this is a very nice looking chart. I will be completely honest with you. Quite bullish. Nice accumulation here in the breakout. Gap and go, kind of digesting this move. Any kind of a panic dip and kind of a drop into this window, you'd want to look to buy around 36, 37 if it gets there. This is a really nice looking chart. So that's a good call. That was a good one. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you for the answer. You're welcome, he says. Aksan, Maker. Sure, folks, I can take a look at a request for you. There's no guarantee I'll get to it. It's just me. There's no moderator. I'll probably miss your message. But if you're watching, like I said, on Twitter, just head over to YouTube. Once you subscribe, you can jump right into the chat room. I do normally live stream, just so you know. I do normally live stream twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday a.m. This goes in the Quick Market Update series. And I'm really proud of that, what's there. So I would encourage you to take advantage of it. Take a look at Maker. I was looking at this earlier. I talked about it a lot in the past, obviously, given its strength here. Certainly back in 2023 into 2024, and the price stopped out lower highs. It's been in a falling channel, but there's some evidence that the price is attempting to, to push back towards weekly, towards weekly highs. It's got some work to do first, but essentially what we have here is a test of the two-level filter. I talk about it all the time on Twitter. I talk about it Bitcoin Live. I talk about my Masterclass playlist. I will definitely cover Ethereum Slim. So what you have is, this is a trend line, right? And a lot of people get hung up on how to draw it, right? And again, I'm teaching classical charting here, right? So a lot of people get hung up to draw it here. What about this body? Is it this wick? It actually doesn't matter, right? Because the idea of a trend line is you're drawing a trend of falling supply. What does that mean? Sellers, more anxious sellers. So it's really just a trend. It's not about exactly where you put the line. Now, there's a real danger in just taking a long based on a diagonal break, because you can just ride it all the way down. What you want to do is wait for some significant horizontal level, some lower high, ideally well-formed like you have here. And then your second level filter is the lower high break. So the diagonal break alerts you to begin to prepare, right? To keep an eye out for the lower high break. Of course, I go over this in the trading journal. This is one of the options of different types of trade setups. So I go over this in great detail in the trading journal. And Maker's getting ready for a second level filter. I think above really 2250, it looks like it's a long signal at that point. So this is preparing, threatening to break out, which is very good if you're a bull. It's got some mojo, it's got some momentum. Maker's actually not too bad. We'll talk about Ethereum, and then we'll jump back into the request. So Ethereum has been in a trendless environment here in the daily. What do I mean by that? There's not much of a trend. Moving averages are flat, 20, 200, EMA 34, EMA 8. There's not much going on here in the environment, daily environment, sideways. And TA works in trending environments, right? So for example, like moving averages are useless in a sideways environment. If everything's sideways and you have a moving average cross, it doesn't really mean anything. You'd rather have a sharp move down, that short-term moving average, rising up to give you a suggestion of momentum change. It's a trendless environment. We're chopping around. The daily chart is below 2,700, failed breakout thus far, but above the key pivot circa 2100, 2150. So that's still the same. There's actually really no change in Ethereum for the last several weeks. What's notable to me is on the weekly chart. It's an uptrend, but just barely. The 200's flat, but if you go back, it has the rising arc to it, and the price is just above it. And what's happening is you have this strong advance here. After the range low sweep and recapture, we had the bounce into the $2,700 overhead level and then a pause. And bears are stepping in. Bulls are having trouble sustaining the rally with the series of small bodies and these volatility, these indecision candles. So we're seeing a lot of indecision, a lot of digestion. I think likely a drop back to kind of the midpoint of this green candle. Using Japanese candlestick theory, and that the midpoint of this candle should be support, and that's going to line up actually with the high time frame pivot circa 2100, 2150, the ascending triangle back in the day, if you remember the breakout and the throwback here. So we had strength into 2700, a pause, and now this indecision, and it's suggesting some weakness. So I would be quite careful, given that every time it's tried to break out, the price has been sent back. How's everybody doing? A lot of great questions. So, how's everybody doing? Okay, how do you determine where to draw the top and bottom boundaries of your support and resistance? It's a great question from Samuel. Thank you, Samuel. So I recommend, first of all, I've studied professional technical analysis. I did CMT level 1. And I'm studying CMT level 2 right now, and I've read many textbooks on both, classical charting, which is Western TA, and Japanese candlestick theory, which is Eastern TA. Samuel, I see your question. It's a great question. So I recommend you start with the Masterclass tutorial playlist. It's going to give you a good background of how I approach. When you draw the box, okay, when you draw a box, let's go, for example, to the daily chart. You look for kind of a best fit where you're trying to draw the majority of the price action. So very roughly, the peak of this range is right around 107K, okay? Very roughly, this captures the peak of the range. You can't get all the wicks. The whole idea of a box, a line, is you're drawing a price zone. It's a zone of price. When I look and think, okay, what is support below? Obviously 100K. Where the price paused, you always want to look and see, there's a couple things. The most recent price action is the most important. The more times a level is tested, the more important it is. The more times it's tested, the more likely it's to break. There's all these rules of thumb. So you look for the best fit, and I think about, well, what if 100K fails? I'm looking right here, right around the 96K zone, okay? And you established essentially for me, the most obvious price levels in here. It's going to be 88.5. So this is how I would mark up the level. These are the levels I've been drawing for, a couple weeks now, or at least a week and a half, 2 weeks. If you want to understand how I do it, you can watch more of my streams. I try to explain it as I go. I try to be incredibly educational. But the Masterclass tutorial, Samuel, is going to give you a great leg up. Big G, do you teach low time frame stuff like execution, other stuff? Are you mainly a high time trader? Big G, I teach all of the above, right? I try to teach you all the lessons to apply, because when I do Bitcoin Live, first of all, I try to teach everybody for free on YouTube. I have a ton of great stuff, and so most of what I do is free. But if you're looking for more, and again, at Bitcoin Live, what I teach people is how to use time frames, okay? And first of all, the same technique can be used on a 15-minute versus 1 hour. If you have a support level that's lost and recaptured, that's called a spring. That can be true in a 15-minute or a monthly chart. But what you need to understand is that the longer the time frame, the stronger the signal, okay? And the idea of knowing when to switch to low time frame. So what is the rule? The rule in classical charting is when the price is interacting with the key level, that is when you can switch to a lower time frame, okay? And after volatility, that is when you switch to a low time frame. So knowing when to switch to a low time frame, knowing when to switch it up, is going to be the first step. And then when you get to the key level, you drop to the lower time frame. You look for some price structure to use to define your risk. I teach all of that. I teach all of the above, low time frame. When I do my videos at Bitcoin Live, I try to speak to those who are accumulating, those who are day trading, those who are swing trading. I try to speak to everyone and give kind of multiple viewpoints and multiple levels of analysis. Dr. Dre, or T. Dre, what's up? You were looking at 60 cents as curve of support. You said you'd already be in the trade. Would you be back out of it? let's take a look and update what CRV is doing. I have it here somewhere. So I would have already been stopped out. I would have already stopped out. My stop loss for the 60 cents, pardon me. Throwback was right around 58, 58.5. So I'm already out of that trade based on that thesis. It's been chopping through this level. It is still, from a trend standpoint, generally is still doing a throwback. But every type of trade needs to be defined. You're welcome. You're welcome, Big G. Says appreciate it. Every type of trade needs to be defined, hopefully with a nearby level. And when the price is chopping through, I just kind of step back and let things settle out a little bit. You're almost better off at this point taking a break on 65 cents on some type of a lower high break. You know, maybe that lines up here with the descending supply trend, chops around and then breaks, and that's your lower high trigger. So that 60 cents trade with the nearby stop loss is already triggered, and you're no longer in that trade. Wanting to have seen a better price response already. If you folks don't know, of course, the Trading Journal is out. It's my 4th book. Why you should use a trading journal, right? What goes in it, all the different parts of it, how to fill it out, emotional management, good trader habits, sample trading journal entries, and blank pages. It's a workbook for you to fill out. There's no point in continuing to trade and keep making mistakes if you don't stop and learn from them. So the trading journal teaches you how to be mindful, how to learn from your mistakes. Because I have a new book out, my 3rd book, the Trading Quotes book, I'm making it completely free. I just put out weeks 11, 12, and 13 this week. I'll do another one next week. You should definitely soak that up. And why I'm so active today, I normally just stream Tuesday, Friday. I'm streaming every day this week. It's a Bitcoin Live 7th anniversary sale. I do a twice a week full market report with what I believe to be the best team in the world that studies crypto. I've been with these folks 7 years. Wonderful team. We have different styles, different methods. And when you sign up, you get access to everyone's content. And you get 3 months now for $97, which is an insane deal, Bitcoin or credit card. And I just encourage you folks to check it out. We really only do this sale once a year. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. So that's why I'm so active this week. I'm going to do a Spaces later today. I'd love to hear from you folks. Come and ask questions, especially if I didn't get to your question today. Eric says, is Trading Journal on Audible soon? Yes, I'm glad you asked. I've already begun recording the audiobook for Trading Journal. That's going to take me a couple months, but I will have that out. And then I'm working on a lot of other stuff, a new Masterclass series. I have some other collaborations going on with other streamers and all that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff I have for sure in the works. Just to remind you, if you're looking for an exchange, check out BingX, my favorite exchange. So folks, this has been a short stream, but it's been a fun stream. I really appreciate you folks hanging out with me here on a Wednesday afternoon. I'm going to do a Spaces later. I hope to hear from you then. And I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone's having a good week, and I will talk to you soon. All right, let's jam it out with the Church of 8 Wheels. Big Cheds out. What's funny is I can't hear it in my headphones, so I know it's playing, so I'm just imagining I can hear it. Folks, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Peace out.